Hey y'all, so I'm back again. I want to talk to you guys about my 6-year-old son. And I did a video before this. When he was in the hospital, he had to stay overnight because he had asthma and bronchitis that was acting up. They caused him to have hypoxia that resulted, and that really means that he's not getting air in his lungs, so he has to go to the hospital. When that happens, it happens when he gets a cold mainly, and he has like a machine, and he has a asthma pump and all of that stuff. So, yeah, I want to talk to you guys about what he has. Now, he was diagnosed also with Autism Spectrum, and yeah, basically, I'm going to start from the beginning when I noticed that he had his signs, or I know something was off. I knew something was off when he was 2, and he was trying to, talk, by 1 you say words, and then 2 you start to say even more words, maybe like 3, 4 words, maybe a sentence even. Some kids, not all kids, and he wasn't comprehending anything. Like, for instance, you would tell a kid, hey, how old are you? You're 2, and you'll say that a few times until they get it. Whereas he did not get it. It was like, DeMarian, how old are you? And he would just look like, I don't know what's going on. And then, like, when he wanted something to eat, he wouldn't say, I'm hungry, or I want something to eat. He would just like grunt or moan or cry and just point to something, but I didn't know what it was exactly. Like, point to the cabinet, I don't know what's in the cabinet, I don't know what he wants. So that's another thing I was concerned with, but everybody was telling me, in the family, there's nothing wrong with him. He's, he'll grow out of it. Some kids, catch on later. When I started to notice, it was so hard for him to understand how to go to the pot, how to do things. And it was like, oh my God, I don't know what to do at this point. So it was just, he was having trouble at school. He didn't know the appropriate behaviors. I'll get into that in the next video about the symptoms of autism spectrum. But I was getting into the details of what my son had and what I noticed. And I noticed that he was like very, I don't know, he would get upset easily because he didn't understand things. Like when he's trying to tell you, hey mom, I want something to eat. Hey mom, I'm hungry or tired. I want a toy. He couldn't say that, so he would get like very frustrated at things, and I just knew something wasn't right. So finally, family, especially in my family, because they're from the South, all my family, and so that old Southern hospitality thingy, or whatever you want to call it, or not even that, it's just when you grow up in the South, they have their ways, or my family, that nothing wrong with the kid, nothing's broken, they can walk, they can say something, they'll eventually learn it, so just leave it alone. You don't need to go to therapy for something. And I was just like, all right, I'll leave it alone. But when you get out there on your own and you see your kid interact at school, you hear how your kid is, you're like, oh no, something is like really wrong. So I took him to a specialist, if you want to call that child specialist, and they did tests. Like, they'll hold up, I don't have anything, but they'll hold up like a book, and they won't tell him like what it is. They'll ask a question like, where does the wheel belong? And then they'll have the wheel of like the car over here, and you're supposed to point to where does the wheel belong, and it's the car. He's supposed to point to the car, and it had like a ball, a boat and stuff, and he would look at it and just be like, the rabbit, like on the other page, like, you know, of course she asked where does the wheel belong in the car, but he would say, point to the other page and go rabbit with the picture of the rabbit on it. He didn't understand the question, and he did this with everything. He wanted to play with toys. He would not answer the question. Like, for instance, she'd be like, where does the apple go? And the apple's supposed to go where the fruit group is at. And he would look and would say something like, he would repeat her like apple. He'll repeat it, and this time he's like 5 years old, and 5, you should be like having a full-blown conversation with people. And he just did not get it. And at first, you know, his behavior was of a typical 5-year-old, where he would just, a 4-year-old, 5-year-old, where he would have a behavior issue, or just running around, antsy. And she was kind of looking at me like, I don't think he has nothing. I just think this is typical child behavior. And I'm like, no. I'm like, something, you know, something has to be wrong because he's not catching on. And I told her, well, I don't like comparing kids because other kids, you know, they learn at different rates. And I'm like, well, his sister that is 2 years younger than him, she's having full-blown conversations with strangers. Like, when we go somewhere, she's like, hey, I'm going to talk to you. And then she'll have like a real conversation where he doesn't even know. And they'd be like, how you doing? And he'll be like, the monster or the plane. And they're looking like, huh? You know, so I knew something was wrong. Also, so she did more tests, and she was like, when he get frustrated, does he do anything like harm himself? Does he flip his arms? I'm like, well, when he, you know, he gets upset, he likes to hit his head. And finally, in the office, he gets upset and he does the head banging thing. And she was like, oh, okay, I see now, okay. So then she gave him the diagnosis that he had Autism Spectrum. And now we have to do in-house therapy where they come out and they, you know, do different tests. They talk to him, see how he's progressing and everything like that. And another thing is, having a child with that is very challenging because when you put him in school, some of the schools where I met in, the school that I met in Florida, they don't have, not all schools, but this particular school, elementary, they don't have a class for kids like that. They had to pull them out. And it was just like super difficult to do. Like, he's not going to do that. He wasn't getting along. And another thing, he keeps peeing on himself, like wetting himself. And they're like, now, you're 6 years old. You can't do that. So when he was 5, I had to pull him out of school. It's like, you know what? We'll just go when you're ready. We'll just go when, you know. Well, he has to go now because he's 6. But then I was like, you know what? We'll just go when his time is right. And like, those are a few of his unique symptoms that he had of autism spectrum, because everybody is different. And so, yeah, I really feel like that I wasn't wrong. I was right. I knew something was not right about my child, and everybody was trying to tell me different. So now we're working on that. So because of his difficulties and outbursts, I might not be here on YouTube doing videos like I should, because he gets very loud, agitated. And so, yeah, I'm trying to do my best. So yeah, so now you guys know the real deal why I'm not on here. I didn't want to say before because I didn't want to feel like, oh, you know, I don't know. That's just me. But yeah, he has that, and I just wanted to let you guys know. I have in another video more symptoms of what autism spectrum is, and you know what the list is and how you can find that out if you don't know, and everything according to age of a child. So yeah, so I love you guys, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.